I only give you 2 homework assignments. Yeah. Because we have 2 tests, midterm and final. So each homework assignment is for one of the tests. Yeah. It looks not that much, but we have 6 quizzes. All right, 6 quizzes plus 2 homework assignments, plus 2 projects, then 2 tests. That's the total amount of coursework. I will go through one by one. The consideration here, first, I do not like to give you too much work. And too little, I try to choose a point somewhere between. Yeah. Somewhere appropriate. Yeah. Just good for this class. Yeah. Because you have many other classes. You have a lot of coursework from other classes. So I need to also consider that factor. Yeah. All right. The 2 homework assignments, each one 25 questions. All right. That number, 25 questions, 4 points each. So you can see total 100 points. Yeah. What the question types? Here, let me give you the question types. All right. These types. 1, multiple choice, as usual. All right, yeah. True and false. Second type. Third type, short answer. And there is last type. The last type, solutions. Solution. So I put solutions. What's that? What's the difference? You can see. If you see the solution word, you need to provide full solution. You need to provide details. Okay. Short answer, you do not have to provide detail. You just give me the final answer. But solutions, usually the last 2 questions, last 2 or 3 questions, I like to ask you to write all the details, usually for relatively hard questions, because I need to see your ideas. I need to see how you solve the problems. All right. If you do not provide me the details, I can only give you partial credit. Partial credit. All right, yeah. Here, let me talk about partial credit a little bit. Partial credit a little bit. Yeah. Because I give a lot of partial credit. Usually look at this type, short answer type. Short answer type, usually the students just write out the final answers. In that case, if you miss the correct answer, you won't get partial credit. You won't get partial credit if you miss the true answer. But I give you an option to earn partial credit. Okay? Yeah. I'll give you an option to earn partial credit. So what's that? So you just write out main steps or key formulas I give you a lot of space. So at the space, you do not need to give me the full details. You just put, the main step, the main idea, the key formulas, just a few lines. Yeah, if I see you use the right way to solve this problem, although you missed the true answer, I can still give you partial credit. Usually I give you 2 out of 4, yeah, because each question is worth 4 points, but you get a main idea, you get a key formula, so I will give you 2 points. That's the typical situation. Partial credit. All right, any question for this part? Now, here you can see among 25 questions, each question, no matter it is an easy question or hard question, we always use 4 points, fixed point number, 4 points. It's not like for hard question worth more points, easier questions worth fewer points. Yeah. But here, you know, in this way, so I feel first, it is easier to calculate the total points. Second, because we use the same standard, right? For everybody, we use the same standard. Yeah. For easier question, you're supposed to get all those points. Yeah. For harder questions, then I really want to see how well you can solve those relatively hard questions. All right, so let's move to the next item, quizzes. I will give you total 6 quizzes. Why 6? Remember at the beginning, I said I will organize the materials for this class in 6 modules. Okay. So it is a good way for each module, we do 1 quiz, because I want to check your understanding for each module. Yeah. So that's why we will have total 6 quizzes. But for grade calculation, I only take 4 out of 6. So give you a chance to drop your 2 lowest quiz scores. In that case, if you miss, or let's say if you do not do well in 1 or 2 quizzes, the damage is still under control. You can drop them. So I would drop those 2 quizzes when I do the calculation. All right, yeah. So let me tell you how I do the calculation at the end of the semester. I add up the scores for all 6 quizzes, but I set your 2 lowest scores to 0. I just do it manually. Right? In my Excel spreadsheet, I do line by line. For each student, I find your 2 lowest scores that I set to 0. Then in my formula, I add up all 6 scores of your quizzes. Yeah. So don't worry. So I will use our method to do the calculation. All right. 6 modules. Each module, here, because I talk about module, so each module, on average, 4 classes. Although sometimes 4 classes may not be able to cover all the material for 1 module, I may have a little more material. But when I start a new module, first I spend some time, a few minutes, 10-something minutes to complete all the material. That's still okay. So then we start a new module. Yeah. That happens frequently. Yeah. So I spend some time in the new module to complete the old material. Yeah. But usually that part is not very long. Yeah. All right. So in that way, we can make 6 modules, 6 quizzes, and every 2 weeks, because 4 classes correspond to 2 weeks, right? 2 weeks. That means every 2 weeks, you will have a quiz. All right, now we will see that. Next, in the next slide, next step, I will run the timeline for our coursework. So you will see, you will get a better visual understanding of the coursework. All right, so let's move on. Another thing I need to talk about for the quizzes. What is the quiz question types, right? Yeah, the quizzes. First, the quizzes. I use a Canvas quiz tool. Canvas quiz tool. All right, yeah. So I set up a quiz using this tool in Canvas. So after that, after I post it, you can work on it. All right. And when you work on it on the page, you will see the information. There is one place you can see it lapses the time. Yeah. You can see it lapses the time displayed on the page. Yeah. You just ignore it. All right, ignore it. Why? Because I talk about this based on my previous experience. Some students, feel nervous. Yeah, so the time running, right? Because usually the duration for each quiz. So here, let me talk about duration for each quiz. More than 1 week. I give you plenty of time, more than 1 week to complete it. Yeah. Why I give you so much time? Because my goal is I like to let you use the quiz to help you study the material. Yeah. When you work on the quiz questions, you need to go back to study your notes, the videos, the textbook, try to get a better understanding and do the best in your quiz. For that reason, I do not want to put a time limit. So I do not set time limit. I just set a deadline. The deadline usually more than 1 week. So what do I mean more than 1 week? For example, when I give you the quiz on Friday, all right, then the deadline I set next Sunday. So that means more than 1 week. Not the same Sunday, all right? The next Sunday. So more than 1 week. Yeah. So I hope in that way you have plenty of time to study. Yeah. And each quiz, 10 questions. Smaller than homework assignment, 10 questions. And 4 points each. So total 40 points. Yeah. The question types, you can see, remember our homework question types, we just take the first 3 in the homework question type. Multiple choice, true and false, short answer. But we will not have full solution because for the quiz, there is no way I can give you full solution questions. The reason is the Canvas quiz tool cannot do the grading on complicated answers. It can only do grading for simple answer types. So the first 3, I will enter the correct answers. The Canvas will use my answers to do the comparison with your answers, and then do the grading. So after you submit a quiz, you can see your grade immediately, see your score immediately. All right, yeah. But one thing that could happen, yeah, sometimes you may write an answer that is pretty close to the correct answer, but the Canvas just does not give you full credit. That could happen. In that case, you just send me an email. You just ask me. I will look at your case. Then I can give you partial credit back if necessary. Yeah, I will, whatever. Yeah, something could happen. Yeah, something could happen. Yeah. Then you just contact me, so I will fix the problem. Then I can change your quiz score manually. From my gradebook, I can change your quiz score after I fix the problem. All right, so that's the quiz part. Any questions so far? If no question, let's move to the next item. Programming projects. 2 programming projects. Each one 15%. So you can see the percentage is pretty high. 2 programming projects. And for the projects, I allow you to use, usually I expect my students what's the problem? No. I don't need it. All right, yeah. So usually the programming language aspect, these 3, Java, Python, yeah, many students use Python, C++. Usually, these 3 are the commonly used programming languages. Right? Yeah. From my side, I use Java. Yeah. That means when I talk about some features, if I need to give you some sample programs, I will give you Java. All right. I will post some Java sample programs for some special features. But other than that, you have freedom to choose your favorite programming languages. Yeah. All right. And then the duration. Yeah. So here, let me tell you the duration of each project. More than 4 weeks. That's plenty of time. More than 4 weeks. Yeah. But some students usually, because they get an impression, they have plenty of time, so usually they wait until the last few days. Now, that's not good. Yeah. So it's better to do it as early as possible. Yeah. Because later I will, in order to give you incentive to do the projects as early as possible, I will give extra credit chance. Extra credit for early submission. For early submission. So you can earn up to 1%. 1% overall, all right? 1% overall if you submit. If you submit 1 week early. All right. 1 week earlier, you can earn 1% extra credit for each project. So if we have 2, so up to 2 total extra credit percentage. But here I like to address some important information. Yeah. Although I use this to give you incentive to submit as early as possible, but I want to avoid one special case. That is, some students may, in order to earn this extra credit, some students may submit before they complete the project. I don't want to see that happen. All right. So how to get a qualification for that extra credit? Yeah. You have to complete all the main features. If your project has some minor problems, not very important, yeah, that's okay. You are qualified for the extra credit. But if you miss some main feature, yeah, any of the main features, I will list the main features in my project description. Yeah. Item by item. If you miss any item, or if you do not complete significant part of that main feature, in that situation, you are not qualified for extra credit. Okay? Because you need to complete that main feature first before you do the submission. You have more time, so you should complete all the main features. Then you do the submission. All right, yeah. So that is one special situation I encountered before, so that's why I address it before any of you may try to take a chance. All right. Anything else? Extra credit. All right, yeah. So if I see something, I will talk about it. Yeah, sometimes I may not remember everything. Yeah. So if you have questions, just let me know. Yeah, because I may miss something. All right, let's go to the next item. Tests, midterm tests, and a final. 2. Here I put a date here, temporary dates, because this is an online course, not in person. In person, so we go to the classroom, then we have to complete the tests within the certain required time. Yeah, but for online case, right? We do not assume the students can come to the classroom to complete the tests, right? So for the tests, still we do the online tests, right? Yes. So although I give you here, I give you the 2 dates, yeah, but to complete each test, I give you several days. Not one day, right? Yeah, several days. So you can use a little more time, yeah, yeah, more than regular tests, regular in the classroom, yeah, at the most 2 hours. For final, 2 hours. For midterm, only 75 minutes. So think about that time limits. But for online, here I give you several days. So think about that. All right. So yeah, try to do the best you can. You have plenty of time. Although you have other courses to work, yeah. But with several days, I hope at least you can find plenty of time to complete our questions. Yeah. All right. That's pretty much all the coursework types, yeah, for this class. Yeah. Any question at this point? So far, so good. Yeah. All right. We only have 30 minutes before the end of the class today. So let me move to the next step. All right, so now let me go through the tentative schedule for assignments. Yeah, here I draw a diagram. Yeah. Later, you will use this PowerPoint. Oh, what's that? So my cell phone. Some problem. Let me check it. I should. I need to. Sorry, yeah. Let me put in the airplane mode. All right, yeah, let me put in the airplane mode. Okay, let's continue. Yeah. All right, so let me run this diagram. Yeah. Later, you may use this slide if you want to see where we are. You can use this slide. All right, so let's start. For the whole semester, we have 17 weeks, including Thanksgiving break. Yeah. Week number 14, that is the Thanksgiving break. And week number 17, that is the final week. Yeah. All right. And in the middle, there is a fall break. There is a fall break based on our school calendar. There is a fall break. So that is from October 19, that is Wednesday, till October 24. That is the Monday morning. Ends at the Monday morning, 8 o'clock. October 19, 4 p.m. Something like that, 4 p.m. And Monday morning, 8 a.m. That is the fall break. Because in that fall break, we will lose a class Thursday, because we have a Thursday here. After Wednesday, there it covers one Thursday. So we will lose one class in the fall break. Because it's a fall break, I should not give you any class during the break, official break, right? Yeah. So we won't have class on that Thursday. Yeah. October 20th, Thursday. Yeah. All right. With that into our consideration, so we will have total 29 classes this semester, total 29 classes. Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's go through these 29. First, Q1, you see at the end of week number 2, we should complete module 1. So we should have our quiz 1 at this point. Yeah, our first assignment. Then duration, a little more than 1 week. So that is the duration of quiz 1. Then, all right, at this point, Thursday of week number 3, our project number 1. Yeah. Why? Because in the module 1, I present a topic. That topic can be used for our project 1. Yeah. So the module 1 topic can provide us the background for project 1. Now, so we are ready to start our first project at this point. Yeah, the earlier the better. Yeah. All right, so that's our second assignment, week number 3. Yeah. Then next one, quiz number 2, near the end of week number 4. That is quiz number 2. In a regular way, every 2 weeks, you expect to have one quiz. Yeah. That's our quiz number 2. Yeah. Then, at this point, you can see at the end of week number 5, our homework assignment number 1. Our first big assignment, 25 question, big assignment, number 1. At this point. Duration, you can see about 1.5 week. Yeah. Yeah. Cover the whole week, then the half this place, this Thursday place. Okay, yeah. This Thursday place. Deadline. Yeah. So make sure you have plenty of time to complete this assignment. Yeah. All right. So then quiz number 3 at the end of week number 6. Next one, quiz project 1 due. Yeah. So now you can see project 1 more than 4 weeks, right? Due at the end of week number 7. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I hope you have plenty of time. Yeah. The project is not very difficult. Yeah. So definitely you have chance to earn extra credit. Yeah. So you can consider early submission for extra credit. Yeah. All right. Regarding the extra credit, now I have another thing I can give you the information related to extra credit. Remember, I said 1 week earlier, you can earn 1% extra credit. But many students, they just submit a few days earlier, 2 or 3 days earlier. Then I will do the calculation proportional. I will make that 1% multiply a fraction corresponds to the days that you submitted earlier. For example, you submit 3 days earlier, then you can get 3/7 fraction, 3/7 extra credit, things like that. Right? Yeah. Even 1 day, even you submit 1 day earlier, so you can earn 1/7 extra credit. Although very little, but just some, positive thing to get. Yeah. All right, so that's something I forgot when I explained extra credit in the projects. Let's continue. Next one. Then project number 2. Yes, after project 1 is completed, so we start project number 2 at this point. Yeah. Then quiz number 4, yeah, at the end of week number 8. After that, then after the fall break, yeah, because in the fall break, yeah, so we can not do much in the fall break. So I hope you use that fall break to prepare for your midterm test. So after the fall break, at week number 10, Thursday, then we start our midterm test. It's an online test still. Keep in mind, it is an online test. I post test questions in Canvas. So you just download and then do the work. Then quiz number 5 at the end of week number 11. Then homework number 2 at the end of week number 12, our second homework assignment. Yeah. All right. So then project 2 due just before the Thanksgiving break. Project 2 due. After that, homework 2 due. So you have, look at that. Because there is a Thanksgiving break, you have more than 2 weeks to complete homework number 2. So homework number 2 due on, let me see this point, let me put this Thursday. Thursday of week number 15, that's the due date for homework number 2. Then, what's that? Oh, yeah, that is quiz number 6. Yeah, so I block it. Yeah. So let me put here, Thursday. Yeah. Quiz number 6, our last quiz before the final week. Then, final. Yeah. Final, December 13th, Tuesday, I posted online, and just to give you a few days to complete, several days to complete. All right, that's pretty much everything we need to do this semester. Any question? All right. All right, so let me move to the next topic. Yeah, the extra credit. I already explained some of them. Yeah, attendance check. Yeah, now it's at the point. How do we earn 2% extra credit, right, for attendance? Yeah. So here, I'm thinking about this way. You are qualified for part of the 2% extra credit. So what's that? Yeah, because I do not use your the Zoom information. I do not use that here because I cannot guarantee each one is a true attendance, right? Yeah, it's hard to verify it. Yeah, although I can assume, but because it's an online course, right? Online course, to be fair for all the students who do not come to the Zoom classes, they should have a chance to earn attendance extra credit, right? To be fair, right? Yeah. So for that reason, I like to use this way. 60% quiz line. What's that? For a quiz, if you pass that 60% line, so then because we have total 40 points. If you get at least 24 points, then I assume you earn that part of the extra credit. How about that? Okay, yeah. To be more specific, let me say this: 2% attendance corresponds to 6 quizzes. Okay, 6 quizzes. So 1 quiz corresponds to 1/3%. Okay, 1/3 of the percentage point. All right, and if you pass, yeah, so here we have 6 of them. If you pass, if one of your quiz has the 60% line, you get this 1/3%. All right. So for example, your quiz 1, you earn this 1/3%. Your quiz 2, if I just assume one student does not pass that 60% line, then you cannot earn that 1% extra credit. How about that? So in this way, even in the online environment, I can still apply this attendance check. Because attendance, yeah, let me use this logic. When we consider the attendance thing, because we expect when after students go through the whole lecture, then they can understand better comparing with not coming to the class. They study by themselves, right? Yeah. So I use this assumption. When students come to the class and follow the lectures from beginning to end, then they should understand better than those without coming to the class. Yeah. So in that way, I use the 60% line because they understand better, so they can pass the 60% line easily for those students. Yeah. For the students who do not come to the class, it will be much harder to pass that 60% line, right? So that's the reason I use this 60% line to do some checking. All right, yeah. So if you have any different idea, you can let me know. Yeah. But at this point, I just try to use this one. Okay. All right, yeah. Any question at this point? We pretty much complete the syllabus. Here I use about 1 hour. Yeah. All right. So we have 15 minutes. Yeah. Let me just do one topic. Will the final exam? Oh yeah, good. Comprehensive, not comprehensive. All right. Yeah, not comprehensive. Yeah, after the midterm. But there is one thing I may need to do. Yeah. In principle, let me answer your question in this way. In principle, it's not comprehensive, but there is something I may like to do is because for the midterm test, if some of the questions, there are too many students miss a few questions in the midterm test, I may like to redo those questions. Yeah, you missed too much. Yeah. So I will select a few questions from midterm test that you missed a lot. Yeah. So I will redo those questions. Yeah. So that will be some exception. Other than that, it won't be comprehensive. Yeah. That's my answer. All right. Okay. Any other questions? Yeah. Let me continue to next topic. Yeah. Our 8.1, factors in problem solving. First, when I start this introduction, I like to give you some high-level understanding. Yeah. How to understand algorithms in a correct way. Yeah. So I want to explain some important factors. Look at this question from different angles. Yeah. Here, let us look at from the first angle. All right. Here, think about it. So why do we need to study algorithms? All right. So here, I like to understand in this way. The goal, solving computing problems, real world computing problems. When you graduate, then you find a programming job, you need to solve many computing problems. So you need to solve many relatively hard problems. So you have a lot of chances to use algorithms. Yeah. That's the goal. Yeah. To do that well, you need to learn knowledge and skill to get a good training from this class, right? Yeah. And so for this class, you will see when we do problem solving, it is not easy. Many times you need to find smart ways to solve the problem. Smart way. Yeah. I will give you many tricky questions. Okay? Non-trivial. You may need to spend a lot of time. So that's why you can see I give you plenty of time, many days. Even for 2 tests, I give you several days. Because some of the questions you need to spend a lot of time to solve. All right, yeah. So, yeah. Here, we look at this question from a computer professional. Okay, yeah. And we are a problem solver. So we need to find a good solution to a computing problem. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So from that angle, how do we understand algorithms? Right. So here we set our angle first, then we try to understand the algorithms. So we know when we work on a relatively hard problem, what are the factors that may help us solve the problem? Here, I like to discuss some important factors. Suppose we have a relatively hard computing problem. In order to solve the problem successfully, what factors do you really need to get a good solution? Here we just talk about abstractly. Anyone can type some words pointing related to that kind of factors. Any of you can think of some related keywords. Yeah. That can, related to the factors that can help you solve the problems. Right? Yeah. Think about that. Yeah. All right. Let me give you some hint. Look at that. The chess game. The chess game. We can treat playing chess game. So that is a problem solving situation. Yeah. That is pretty hard, right? To do well in a chess game. Can you connect to some important factor that you need to get a good solution to, to win the game, right? Think about that. Another situation, playing football game. In a football game, in order to get a win, we need to solve many problems, right? Real world problems. Yeah. So think about, in order to do well in a typical football game, what factor do we need? Can anyone connect to some keyword related to that? Yeah. Yeah. From these 2 examples, try to connect some keyword related to keyword. All right. Strategies. The first factor, the first keyword, strategies. Do you need good strategies in a chess game? Definitely you need good strategies, right? In football game, do you need many effective strategies? Definitely you need, right? Yeah. So that is the first factor I want to talk about. We will have the same situation in our computing problem solving, we have a similar situation. We need a lot of strategies to get a good solution. All right. Next, other than the strategies, let's go back to that football chess game again. If you only have strategy, is it enough to get the job done? Do you need something more than that, more than strategies, right? We know strategies. Before the game, the coach team, they do planning. So they develop many special strategies before the game, all right? Other than that, in order to win the game, do we need another factor also important other than the strategy, right? Think about that, okay? Yeah. Execution. You need to execute your strategies. Yeah. How to implement, how to make things work along the direction of your strategies. That's extremely important. Yeah. So these two factors also very important in our algorithm problem solving. We need strategies, but other than that, we need to develop many techniques related to execution, related to implementation. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So that is the first topic from the high level. Yeah. And later in my lectures, we will solve many computing problems. I will talk about these two factors frequently. Yeah. First, I will introduce some strategies we need to solve those problems. After that, then I need to provide you many special techniques, helping us implement the strategies. That's also very hard. Implementation also very hard. Yep. Strategies, that's not enough to give you the information for the implementation. Implementation, we also need to be very creative. Using a lot of effective techniques. Then finally, we can get a problem solved. All right? Yeah. So that's the high level understanding. Yeah. From the first angle. Yeah. We have the second angle. Yeah, but today, we already run out of time. So today, I like to stop at this point, and I leave to next topic. Look at the algorithms from another angle next time. Yeah. All right. So any question? Yeah. So now let us complete the meeting at this point. Yeah. So if you do not have any question, so you can leave the meeting.